This is the Maxfun 10, and this is the little brother to one of my favorite scooters ever, the Maxfun 10 Pro. Now, I use that term little brother very loosely because this still is capable of speeds up to 40 miles an hour with twin 1000 watt motors. The current price on this is under $1,300, so if it's even a fraction as good as its older brother, this will be a fantastic deal at the price and potentially one of the best sports scooters that you can get on a budget. So let's crack it open and take a look. You get a 1.7 amp charger out of the box. However, there are two ports, one on this side, one on the other side. So if you buy a second one, then you can fast charge it and cut your charging time in half. So it looks like it is the exact same dimensions and almost all of the exact same components as the 10 Pro. Really like to see that. So I'll get these handlebars on and get it charged up, and we'll take a closer look at those features. Now, seeing as this is based on the Maxfun 10 Pro, a scooter I already know I really like, there's going to be a lot to like right off the bat with this scooter. The dimensions are the same, so it's going to have that same sporty feel with a nice large riding platform, nice wide handlebars. It's got the same display, it's got the same locking mechanism, it's got a lot of the same components and features. However, because this is a budget version of the 10 Pro, there are going to be some places where they've cut costs. So let's look at those features that have changed from the 10 Pro, and then we'll take a look at performance as well, which is going to be different than the 10 Pro. So in one place where it is different, but it actually improves the scooter, is these grips. These are locking grips, unlike the just regular slide-on grips that we got with the original Maxfun 10 Pro. I think that this is because of feedback from the community. Also, those original grips kind of smelled like gasoline, so these don't have that smell. They feel much better and they lock, which means that they're not going to slide around. So I genuinely feel like you won't need to upgrade these, even though it actually also makes it easier to do that if you want. You get Maxfun's NFC chip system, which I think is better than most scooters because you can decide to use the NFC chip or to not use the NFC chip. If you want the scooter to always be able to be powered on, you just touch your NFC chip once and this light will come on, and then you can just turn the scooter on and off at your leisure. However, if you want to make sure you lock it, you can touch it again, that light will go out, and then the scooter won't turn on until you reactivate the NFC. You get one of my favorite throttles, the horizontal thumb throttle here. You can see how much travel you have. Very easy to control the power on the scooter, and you can also kind of anchor your thumb here and roll it to control the throttles. A big strong point of the 10 Pro was the hydraulic disc brakes. Now they've downgraded these and they've gone to a much cheaper system. They aren't fantastic. You definitely get a little bit more mush. However, you do have the adjustable levers here, which can help a little bit with that mushy feel. Overall, the performance isn't quite as good. I don't feel like you get as much control, but it's not unsafe. It's stopping the scooter in plenty of time, and you still are getting hydraulic disc brakes, which will always be better than cable-driven brakes. You get the same twist-style stem lock as on the 10 Pro. I like this one because it's really simple to use, but it is super solid. You're not gonna get any stem wiggle at all. You just twist this, flip this wedge out of the way, and then it has a safety pin so that even if for some reason this comes fully undone while you're riding, it still won't fold down on you. You just pull that safety pin and it folds down. You also have a deck latch here. It unfolds just as quick. Just make sure that you pull this pin as you fold it up, and then you just screw this guy right back in. This is not a light scooter, but it is still very manageable. You can lift it by the stem still, or you have a nice tail that you can get your hand under, and then this front section makes it fairly easy to lift, and that's all you really need at this price, a scooter that is manageable. Same riding platform as the 10 Pro, huge amount of space. Again, one of the strongest points of this scooter is the riding dimensions, how much space you have, how much control you feel like you have over the scooter with the wide handlebars and the nice big riding platform. Now, what I think is one of the biggest things that this scooter retains from the Maxfun 10 Pro is the suspension. You still get hydraulic spring suspension, and it is fantastic. You get a ton of travel, the dampening is super good, you get nice slow rebound. It keeps the wheels planted without being bouncy. I think they've done a fantastic job on this spring suspension, and I don't think that there's really any suspension at the price that competes with this. Now, another thing we lose is the 72 volt battery of the Maxfun 10 Pro, which for a lot of people was a big selling point. However, you still get a 52 volt battery here. I think that is standard for the price. Generally 52, 60 volt is what you see on these mid-tier sports scooters. And you get a 23 amp hour battery, which is really sizable. I will show you the range test results a little bit later. You've got twin 1000 watt hub motors here, outputting a max of 3000 watts. This thing is still plenty zippy, and it still has that signature Maxfun touch of just having some of the best acceleration that you can get at the price. Again, I'll show you all these things once we jump on the scooter during the performance section. You lose the PMT tires on this version, but I found that these tires do not have any issues with grip. This scooter is still putting down a lot of power, but it's not putting down as much power as the 10 Pro, and so these are more than enough. So there are the core basics of the Maxfun 10. Let's look at a couple small other features that you get that don't have a huge effect on the riding experience. First are these fenders. They've got like a carbon fiber design on them, which I like, makes it look nice and sporty. The fenders are pretty good. I think if you have to ride this in the rain, you should be plenty protected. You can see here that you'll get some water spray straight up, but you shouldn't get any on you. You also get a front headlight mounted low. I would have preferred to see it mounted high, but again, you're going to need extra lights with this scooter and with pretty much any scooter that you buy, no matter how good the stock lights are. You're still gonna want something on your handlebars and on your helmet. And then an underappreciated part of scooters, and one that I tend to overlook, is the kickstand. This is a super solid kickstand. It's really beefy. It can take a ton of weight. Thing's not gonna fall off on you like I've had it happen with other electric scooters. So it's a good, well-rounded scooter in terms of components and features. It's more than what you would typically get at the price. There has been quite a surge of really good, around $1,300 electric scooters this year, but this definitely has the feature set and the components to compete with all of the best scooters at that price. So now the question is, does it have the performance to compete with the best of the best dual motor scooters at this price? Let's jump on it. Let's do a top speed run. Let's do an acceleration test, and we'll also do a range test, and I'll give you my thoughts on the scooter as I ride around. Let's go. Okay, so we are out on the scooter now. Let's start with a 0 to 30 mile an hour pull here. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. We got wheel spin. There's 30, 32. We saw 32 displayed, which should just barely be 30 actual. Let's see what Draggy says. 0 to 15 of 2.1 seconds and a 0 to 30 of 7.2 seconds. That's actually not bad at all. That is actually really, really good. Especially at the price. I mean, I knew the acceleration was gonna be quick, but it's nice to see numbers that reflect the feeling that the scooter gives you. Okay, let's do one more pull here. 0 to 15, 0 to 30. Ready, 3, 2, 1. That was a little bit too much wheel spin. I think I got too much wheel spin there. Yeah, easily got 30 there. 0 to 15 of 2.1 again, and a 0 to 30 of 6.8. 6.83 0 to 30 is crazy good for a scooter this price. Definitely the fastest accelerating scooter I've tested at this price, there's no doubt. But let's see how fast it actually goes. Okay, let's do the two-way top speed test. Starting with this direction. Here we go, 3, 2, 1. I'm not as worried about a super fast acceleration, but just seeing what the top GPS speed we can get on this thing is. It has a claimed top speed of 40 miles an hour, but just in my riding around, I've seen low 30s, but we'll see what it actually does here. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything more than 32 displayed. Try not to get killed by a car here. Okay, 32 displayed. I'll put on screen what the GPS speed we got on that pole was. And now let's do one the other direction. We should get a little bit better speed in the other direction. It's not, it's fairly flat, but I think there is a slight downhill grade going in this direction, very, very slight. So if this has any more speed to give us, it should give it to us here. So here we go, 3, 2, 1. $33 displayed, 34 displayed. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything more than 34 displayed. That's definitely the top flat ground speed that we're going to be able to get.
In my testing, I saw a minimum range of 23 miles all the way up to a maximum of about 40 miles. This is right on par with the other scooters in this category and even just a little bit better than some of the other scooters I really like at this price.
Okay, let's talk riding experience. Now, as you saw, acceleration is really good, which is one of the biggest strengths of this scooter. And I think it's the thing that makes a scooter fun more than anything else. Having a reasonable top speed, I think is nice, obviously, and is important to a certain extent, especially at this price. But the acceleration is really the hooks of this thing. It's what's gonna grab you in and make you wanna go out and ride every day. Now, obviously, the top speed being significantly lower than the claims doesn't feel good, but it's all about expectations, right? If you are expecting 40 miles an hour and don't get it, then it feels bad. However, if they advertised this as a 30 mile an hour scooter or as a 32 mile an hour scooter, that's still a fantastic top speed for this price and for this class of scooter, especially coupled with the acceleration. And then if you went out and it actually did what it said, that would feel really good. And you wouldn't, I feel like it's just a matter of setting the expectations. Now let's talk about a couple other features and bullet points on how a scooter feels to ride, and then we'll compare it to a couple other scooters at the price that are similar in the performance categories. First off, as mentioned, the suspension is really unparalleled. And once again, that's what the draw of the 10 Pro was for me from the get-go, was the acceleration plus the comfort of the suspension. And they've replicated that here. They've cut costs in some places, and obviously this isn't as fast. This is about 10 miles an hour slower than the 10 Pro, but you still retain a lot of the most desirable riding traits of this scooter. You still have the nice big riding platform. You still have really wide handlebars that you don't feel like you need to swap out. The grips feel fantastic and are a huge upgrade over the 10 Pro. You get a little bit of wheel spin on takeoff, but overall the tires are really good. It's a performance scooter that delivers, for the most part, on what it promises to be, other than that top speed claim. Now, the two other scooters kind of in this price class that come to mind right now are the awesome DT2 Pro and the Tevron Blade Mini Ultra. Now, those are the two that are kind of in the exact same price tier as this, that you'd be spending the same amount of money. Now, this is accelerating faster than both of those. This is going to have a faster 0 to 15 time, faster 0 to 30 time. It's going to be a much quicker feeling scooter, and I think that if you're a performance-minded rider and you like that burst of acceleration, I don't think that you can beat this scooter. Now, if you're the type of performance rider that cares a lot about top speed, the DT2 Pro is going to win that category, and it still, it accelerates quite quickly. It's still overall a great scooter. But I think in terms of acceleration and riding comfort, that this scooter is the best of the three that I've mentioned. It is also the biggest of the three I've mentioned. If you've got some portability in mind, if you're the type of rider that wants to make sure that you're not having to haul around a big bulky scooter, then the smallest of the three is that Tevron Blade Mini Ultra. But generally you're going to get very similar performance specs. Sorry, not performance specs, portability specs between all of these in terms of like weight and overall size. There's going to be some small differences, but nothing huge. All in all, this really is a piece of the 10 Pro that they've taken and they've made more affordable. And I think it's a great purchase. I think the biggest weak points of it are the brakes. However, you're getting hydraulic brakes, which you don't always get. And then just expectations versus reality when it comes to the top speed. When you compare this scooter to other options at the price that are single motor, you know, you look at like the Max G3 from Segway, this is going to have a top speed that is at least 3 to 4 miles an hour higher than it, and it's going to be able to maintain those speeds for the entirety of the battery life. Acceleration is buttery smooth. This thumb throttle gives you a lot of control over that acceleration. It's really responsive. You know, all the things that the 10 Pro is, just in a slightly slower form. So if you want to check this scooter out, it'll be down below at the link in the description. Those links support me and support this channel. And if you're looking at this scooter because the 10 Pro is out of stock right now, and you do have a flexible budget, I think it's probably worth waiting till the 2.0 version comes out. Now, honestly, I don't have any info about that yet. I just know that it's coming very, very soon. And knowing Maxfun, they will, I think they're going to make some great changes. The 10 Pro, the original 10 Pro was already a fantastic scooter. The 2.0 should be even more amazing. So hit subscribe if you want to see that review when it comes out, hopefully in the next month here. And if you want to see more videos, I have all sorts of electric scooter videos on the channel. Check it out below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.